But at the moment, we're in a situation for Eddie where a few players have to be injured for him to get a game. In terms of like, you know, other players as well, just wait for Martinelli to get in the score sheet. Although he scored against Liverpool and he scored a couple against Crystal Palace, but you know he's been a revelation as well. Defence has just been as good as ever. Gabriel again always gets a mention. I thought he was fantastic again, and you know you could tell how well things are going. That he actually can bring on Cedric. You know he didn't bring on Cedric at all this season. You know as my firm memory goes right, but last two games we've been cruising. He's able to get some action, so it just shows you how confident we are as a team and how well we're playing. But the frustrating thing about it all, there's so much football left. Liverpool are in good form as well. Man City, you know, worse smacking form, although Chelsea should have won the game with the chance they had. But one thing about Man City, everyone's writing off Man City. I say, like I say, last season, I think they were about 5 or 6 points behind us by this stage of the season, and they still won it. So you can never.
They've actually got after 24 games, which is what they've played. They've got 1 point more this season than they had after 24 last season.
And that's the thing. As well as everything's going, the only shallow point is got to keep it going because can't afford to drop points. You know, everyone's got to respond. You know, everyone who's got massive squads like Liverpool and us, we got a big squad as well. Not in terms of quality as Liverpool and Man City, but everyone's going to be needed. There's no excuses. You know, everyone says, "Oh, this guy's struggling because I've got injuries." Just get on with it. That's what we're going to have to do. That's what Liverpool are going to have to do. What Man City got to do. In terms of like leading on to Porto, this is a great opportunity for us as well. But you know, perversely, I do think that our best chance of silverware is actually the league as opposed to the Champions League because of the fact that I don't want to disrespect the Premiership, but there are better sides in the Champions League with better coaches, and we're not going to be playing the same team we played against West Ham and Burnley as opposed to Porto. In fact, I'm convinced that Havertz will probably going to be on the bench and Jorginho will start because of the different pace of the game, the fact we're going to need a controlled possession. So the different tournament and different personnel. Don't be surprised if that happens. That's his kind of team selection. But in terms of momentum-wise, can't wait at Porto. You know, they're not. It's a great opportunity for us against them. But let's face it, they're a good team as well. A very, very good team. A good pedigree in Europe, better than us. So again, same mindset, but different tactics and different preparation, and probably a different pace of the game. Because remember, we've got 2 legs as well. It's an 180-minute game, not a 90-minute game.
Facts. Do you guys think Mikel Arteta will change up his winning side for Wednesday's game? That's a great comment. We'll come to that in a second, my friend, because I want to carry on talking about the win first. But big up LD, man. Always in my chat as well. Appreciate it, bro. There's a few people as well that have asked me in the last couple of days, why does it keep rewinding the live straight back to the beginning whilst I'm live? Alpha's asked it today. Basically, if you're on the app on your phone, and then you come off of the app, you can't keep the YouTube app open, I don't think, whilst you're going on WhatsApp, for example. Once you go back into it, when you press play, sometimes it'll just rewind it straight to the beginning, or it'll just play it from where it was. Just press live. There's a little live thing there. It'll just take you straight back to live. But it is jarring, I can't lie. It's a little glitch. It's been happening recently. So it's not happening for a load of people, but it is what it is. But anyway, yeah, let's go around some of the players that performed, man. Obviously, we know some of them watched the podcast. Martin Odegaard being one of them. We've been telling him to shoot more because he's been extremely frustrating recently, taking way too many touches around the penalty box. And then we see in 4 minutes, Jez, first touch, bang, 1-0. And that's what we wanted to see, man, because that guy last season was shooting on sight.
Yeah.
Yeah, this season, I don't know why he's not shooting on sight. What did you put it down to, man?
Well, it's a good, very, very, very good point, Lee, because last year we saw him doing that on the edge of the box, 20 yards out, 22, 24, scoring banging goals. And then this year it's tippy-tap around the edge of the box, losing control. But Odegaard, I don't know if it's actually a tactical thing or anything. I don't know. But one thing I've noticed about Odegaard recently, he's a lot more there's a lot more movement from him. He's really commanding a lot more in that midfield. He looks a lot more exciting and deadly. And the fact that he's doing this sort of cross runs here, cross runs straight down, and his ball distribution, I think, has been very, very good. And I don't know what it's about, but he looks like a reinvigorated player. He looks like the player when he was scoring goals last season, some lovely, beautiful goals. And the goal he scored the other day, wow. I mean, you know, bullet shot, straight down, bottom corner. No keeper in the world is going to really get to that. I can't honestly put it down to one thing. It does seem to me that something has happened. The whole team looks reinvigorated. You know, before Christmas, they looked lackluster, sideways passing, backwards, losing control of the ball. I've had discussions with people on different shows. Oh, well, we've played some poor sides. Well, West Ham weren't great. They're not a poor side, but they didn't turn up on the day. We took advantage, which, let's be fair, in the past, we haven't. We've turned up against a poor team and we've struggled to sneak like a 1-0, or we've had to get, you know, end up 1-1, and then we've nicked it in the last injury time minutes. And we've walked out of there 3 points, and you get all the top gooners out there digging it up. Oh, brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. No, it wasn't. At this point in time, it is brilliant, 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 because we're actually taking teams apart. The difference, Lee, with the likes of Odegaard and Rice and people like that, they're putting their foot on the other team's throat. They're starving them of oxygen. And that's, at the end of the, I mean, that's, yeah, not a literal thing, but that's what they're doing. They're killing teams off early. You know, we get hold of them, score a nice goal, and then we go in at 3-0, 4-0, half time, whatever. Teams are dead. They must come out for that second half and think, what are we going to do now? You know, 4-0 down, West Ham at home. They must have thought, can we just call it now, ref? Can we just stop it now? You know, because there's nothing we can do about it. Let's just get on the team bus and piss off.
And then they see 10 minutes stoppage time added.
Yeah, they must be thinking, oh dear God, really? You know, come on, ref. Let's pack it in now, mate, because we don't want to be embarrassed anymore. But that is the difference, Lee, with Arsenal right now, is we are killing teams off. We are devastating them. We're putting them up against the wall. We've got our hand on their throat, and we're just saying to them, it's the Tony Adams attitude. You ain't beating us today, fella, right? And that's a comparison I made the other day between, at this point, Saliba, Gabriel. It's almost like watching Steve Bold and Adams, right? In the fact of the way they work together. And now where that come from, that's down to great coaching. I'm sorry, I have to say that. That is great coaching. And the fact we've got a decent right back, and then we've also got a left back in Kivwa, which is playing very well. What I don't want to see,
last couple of games,
I think he's been quality, man. And I don't want to see when Zinchenko comes back from injury, he's put straight back in. No.
Bin him in the summer, mate, or play him at number 10. Keep him in the squad for midfield, but don't play him at left back. No more, man. This experiment needs to go in the bin. Like, honestly, just put it in the bin. If you're going to keep him, because he is a very good footballer. Yeah, let's just all have that right. He's extremely good on the ball. Yeah, and his short game passing is quality. But he's not a left back. So stop playing him at left back. We just play him in midfield. Just put him in midfield. Yeah, he can play as what, an 8? He can play as a 10. I'd rather he just switches with as a bench player for Odegaard. I'd rather he just do that. But I don't know. What do you guys think?
You know what? I still think that he's going to go. There's going to be certain games where he is going to look at Zinchenko. You know, he's probably going to look at Zinchenko. He won't look at Zinchenko in away from home. You know, certain games, you know, like Man City, Tottenham, and Man United. He won't go to Zinchenko. He'll probably go with Kivy or go Tomiyasu, because everyone's talking about Kivio's performances. Tomiyasu is another one who can come in as well. There's going to be a lot of rotation. At home, depends what the situation is, because we all thought that against certain teams like West Ham and Burnley that we are going to need Zinchenko to control possession, but Benjamin White's done that job from the right backs position. So it's a selection headache the managers wanted, and and what we've been calling for. But there's a certain games where Kivior doesn't get skinned, Zinchenko does get skinned, and I wouldn't bring him back, but I would consider him from certain games, and I think the manager's going to do the same thing as well, because I just get the feeling that there's going to be certain games where it's going to be courses of courses, and obviously we're going to talk about Porto tomorrow, but yeah, I'm 50-50. Kivior's done really well. He did excellent against West Ham. He was brilliant against Burnley, but who knows? Maybe I need a bit more convincing. But so far, so good with Kivior. But I do think that he'll bring Zinchenko. Me personally, the player that I would bring ahead of both of them would be Tomiyasu.
Yeah, I'm in full agreement to that. That's what I was actually going to say. Is I would, if anybody needs to come right back in, it would probably be Tommy. And then even at that, I would look at how I rotate my players. Like, we play City. I don't want to see Zinchenko when we play in a team that can completely exploit that weakness. I would prefer to have someone with the experience. And I know there's a couple of people in the chat saying Timber is going to be back, but you still have to keep in mind that he's coming back off of a major injury. And the last thing you want is a setback, and then you've got an injury-prone player. So you have to kind of
look what's happened with Jesus. He's had a knee injury, and he keeps on having reoccurrence and injury. All you have to do is go up towards the M1 to the M62 and go to Anfield. Alexander-Arnold, knee injuries is one of those things where they don't always clear up, and in some cases you're not the same player. You just have to play differently and train different. You know what I mean? Paul McGrath. I'm not saying that Jesus is in that category, but it's one of those things where and Timber's in that category. We don't know, but an injury as serious as that, to the extent that you felt it before half-time against Forest, and then you were told to go and run it off, and it turned into like a catastrophic injury. Those are horrible injuries to come back from, knees. So I'm still in favour of Timber, coming back ready and
just let him be, man. Throw him on for a couple of minutes here and there if that. I don't want to see him starting a game this season.
I don't want to see him this season. I'll just wait to pre-season.
I'm 100%. I just there's no magic pill with him, and I want people to understand it. There's not going to be this magic pill this season that's going to just we're going to get that person's going to come back and that's going to do. No, it's going to be a case of he's going to have to rotate players the right way. So far, he's gotten that good. I'm of the ilk. Jesus does not need to be back in this team as soon as he comes back. He needs to be used off the bench. When players are tired, when Saka's tired, he needs to be going over there. He needs to be going in his position, relieving Saka, because Saka has still been going. We talk all this talk. He's still been playing almost 3 calendar years of football. So, at some point, he's going. This thing, you just hope he can keep it going. But he's going to need a replacement. Well, guess who the replacement is? It's Jesus. Jesus needs to go over there, and take care of it. It's the same thing with Zinchenko. When Tomiyasu, who's injury prone, by the way, when he looks knackered or whatever, then you go down the pecking order. Timber coming back is not going to be. He's only played a half a game this whole season.
Yes.
So I mean that's a. I want people to understand, bringing him back or bringing some of these players back, in a sense, will be repeating what happened last year. Because, Lee, what happened last year when we were rolling? The players just started coming back into the team. We
brought Jesus back in off of the back of a knee injury where he had surgery, came back in and we did next to nothing.
Nothing.
He was brilliant before the knee surgery, whereas Trossard during that time was absolutely killing it. He has his surgery, he comes back in, Trossard's dropped and we bottle a tile. I'm not blaming Jesus. There's multiple things that went wrong, but hopefully he's learned from that, this manager. Where is Tomiyasu, by the way? Because he came back from the Asia Cup and we ain't seen him in the squad yet.
We'll probably see him Wednesday. I think we'll probably see him Wednesday. I think he'll be on the bench Wednesday.